absent friends. All this and more as the Stafford Weekly News starts now. Welcome to the Friday, April 25th edition of the Stafford Weekly News. I'm Randall Williams. 2025 has been a rough year in many ways. In the space of 3 months, Stafford has lost 3 people who dedicated years of their lives to the city. We, in turn, dedicate this show to them and the memories of those who worked with them. We'll start with a legend among city attorneys, Art Pertod.
Let me, first of all, express my condolences to the family and friends of the legendary lawyer Art Pertod. He has guided the city with no legal entanglement all these years. I have known him for nearly 20 years, and I know personally he has guided all the city council members, the mayors, in a proper way so that we will not get into that ditch. So I am very thankful to him, and I am missing him. The whole city is going to miss him, and it is very difficult to find such a person. There are people like that, but very difficult to find such a lawyer, such a person, such an excellent human being, that's such an expert in law. I wish him, his soul, departed soul, all the best, so that he is right now, I believe, looking down on us, what we are doing, how we are doing, and he will be praying for us. Thank you so much.
So I met Art shortly after he was assigned to be the city attorney for the city of Stafford. And probably within a month or so, I really had an opportunity to get to know him because we had a hurricane. And Art came to the city of Stafford, and he stayed at the Stafford Center with the other employees, and I was assigned to work security overnight. And so I sat at a table overnight, and Art wandering down the hallway and came and sat down and started talking with me. And at that point, we really got to know each other well. Part of that conversation, he asked me, what are your goals in law enforcement? And I told him that one day I'd hope to be a police chief somewhere. And he said, well, let me give you some advice. And those that know Art know he's never short on advice. He's always got an opinion, he's always got good advice to give. So he said, let me give you some advice. At the time, I was a detective, and he told me, because in our conversation, I told him that I was back in college again, and he told me, first finish your college education, which I did. And he said, then you need to get with Chief Cron, and you need to start working real closely with Chief Cron, and you need to start attending city council meetings so that the city council members can get to know you better. And so as a detective, I started attending city council meetings. Not too long after that, probably within a year, I was promoted to lieutenant. At the time, lieutenant was a commander's position, and I was the lieutenant over support services. And I continued to go to the city council meetings with Chief Cron, and then I began to work very closely with Chief Cron on developing a budget. And this is all advice that Art gave me, to start going to those council meetings, start working with Chief Cron, start getting myself in a different mindset. And he said, you'll go far in this business. So I did all those things that Art told me, and eventually I was appointed as the police chief here in the city of Stafford. And so I credit Art with some good ribbing and some good poking and some very good advice to help me get to where I'm at today.
I worked with Art and around Art for, wow, 20 years. And Art always had a unique way of conveying his point in a very informal manner that sometimes was heightened depending upon the amount of passion he had on the topic. I remember more than once during City Council with Mayor Scarcella, where he and I were on differing sides of an issue. You could hear Art whispering very quietly to just be quiet, sit down, just be quiet, sit down. And he'd always tell me that. One of the most memorable times with Art is he historically always picked on me about firemen. He was not a fan of firemen, even though one of his best friends was a fireman from Waco. And Art always said the firemen didn't need their services. And then Hurricane Harvey happened. Art was trying to get to the EOC, and he inadvertently flooded his vehicle, got it stuck, couldn't get it out, water rising, the whole 9 yards. And who did he have to call to come help him? But the fire department. So we were able to go out there, extricate Art from his very waterlogged situation and get him to the EOC, and then bring him back days later to help him recover his vehicle. So it was kind of the irony that I never let him live down after that. Whenever he would say something, you know, as a comment about the fire department or firemen in general, I would always have to remind him that when he needed things solved, that's who he called. The single funniest thing with Art was Hurricane Harvey again. When you're in close quarters with people for 9 or 10 days, like we were during Harvey, you have a tendency to feel the need to get outside no matter what the weather's like. And the storm had passed and we were in the recovery phase and things were just winding down, and some of the restaurants in town were just now opening. And Art and I both had a penchant for Popeye's chicken, which is another story. And he said, hey, let's go to that Popeyes on Woolcrest, because the other one wasn't open yet. So we go making our way up to the Popeyes on Woolcrest in 59, only to find it was closed. You want to talk about both of us being heartbroken at that point, because we were beyond eating whatever was available. We wanted Popeye's chicken. So we then went down 59, we ended up at Taco Bell. Taco Bell had their lights on, there were people in line. I said, Art, what about Taco Bell? And he said, I do not care. So we pulled into Taco Bell. So what do you want? He goes, just pull up. I said, what do you want? He goes, don't worry about it, I got it. And when we pulled up to the line to order, I didn't have the words out of my mouth of, Art, what do you want? He just yelled over and leaned over, because I was driving, leaned over and hollered into the mic. He wanted 30 hard tacos. So Art proceeded to order 30 tacos. And we were done. We pulled up to the line. He goes, you're not gonna order anything? I said, you're gonna eat all 30 tacos for yourself? And so he and I had a good laugh about that. And then we wound up eating tacos was our break from the EOC for that period. But we drove around the entire city for probably an hour looking for a restaurant that had finally started to come back open with the restoration of power. And so it was one of those things. I'll always cherish that memory of Art. He always told me that before he retired, he said, I'm getting tired of dealing with you, boy. And had enough of it. He goes, you're gonna drive me to retire. And so when he finally did retire, you know, it was one of those things. If there was ever a person who earned the retirement, it was Art. And it's just sad to see that he hasn't been able to enjoy that now. But I know that he's in a better place. I'll always hold our friendship and his advice close to my heart, because he was a rare one. He was one of those people who knew the law, who was smart, he was intelligent, which are two different things, but he had the ability to relate and could talk to you in the most grassroots, normal way that a lot of attorneys and a lot of people can't. So I'll always remember those times.
Today I'm here to honor, to remember my dear friend, Art Portel. He was our beloved former city attorney for many years. He was a friend, a mentor, and a guiding light to many of us. I still remember when I first elected as a new city council member for the city of Stafford in 2019. That's 6 years ago. Whenever I have questions regarding the city agenda item, Art was always so patient, took his time to explain to me the issue. Sometimes he shared the history of the case and helping me to fully understand the situation. And so I can make an informed decision for the city. Art's contribution and dedication will never be forgotten. I'm deeply grateful to have known him and also have been touched by his kindness, wisdom, and friendship. Rest in peace, Art, my dear friend. I will always remember you. Thank you for your contribution to our city and to our community.
Art was truly one of a kind. He lit up any room that he walked into. He was such a mentor, and he took you under his wing. If you were willing to, as he would say, cuss and fuss with them, then you'd have a great relationship with them. We never agreed, hardly ever agreed on anything. We always argued, but it was the basis of our friendship and ultimately a mentorship from him. He definitely loved Stafford. He cared for Stafford. I feel like he says that he grew up in Stafford towards the last part of his career before he was trying to retire. And his wife, Renita, would always say, it's time to let go, Art, so we can go travel. And or that's what he would tell me, she would say, so they could enjoy retirement together. And he was just such a joy. And Stafford was very, very lucky to have him for so many years.
Well, what I need to say about Art is that he had an amazing professional achievements as well as personal triumphs. He loved McMurray University, his alma mater. And there's one thing about Art, he was so humble. Speaking to him and knowing him, you wouldn't know all the achievements and all the awards he had received. And humility was just one of those personal characters that you admire in a person, because he didn't have to prove anything to everybody or anybody. And it was just those self-awards that he did that nobody knew about, and those are the best kind. He also had amazing ethical and moral standards. And he always kept city council in line, saying that he wasn't going to go to jail for any of us. So that was one thing that we always remembered, and he would continually ask us to take his advice, and so we would all be safe here on the dais. So we really appreciated that and appreciated Art. One of the things that comes to mind on things that he did for people that weren't necessarily a common thing is when the city council was looking at public works, and we're going to recognize them and proclaim them to be first responders. And he helped charter that and make resolutions for us. So once we passed it, then we were talking about the emblems that we would put on vehicles and caps, and just to promote and let everybody know how proud we were of our public works. So he just out of nowhere, he goes, I'll cover the cost. No questions asked. He said, just send me the bill. So that was Art. He did things that normally someone wouldn't do, and it was all out of pocket. So he guided me a lot when I came and had initiatives for city council projects or initiatives that I was thinking about. And he just had a unique way of either telling me nicely that well, maybe you need to reconsider and think about this. And so he would guide me and make recommendations of a better way to do things and achieve more with the same thing. So, and he would always say, he'd rub his head and say, it's gonna be all right, it's gonna be all right. So we're gonna miss Art. He was just one of those unique people that you meet in life that you always think about the honesty and the integrity and the ethics that he left behind for us. So, Art, it's gonna be all right. Thank you.
I had the privilege of working with Art Pertile for many years. I first met Art as he entered Stafford City Hall for the first time. We walked in together. He introduced himself to me as the new city attorney, and he called me by my name. So I felt good that Art was prepared and had done his homework. I also felt good when Art said, I am here to represent the city of Stafford, to protect the city and its people, and we will follow the law. And I said, yes, sir, we will follow the law. Through the years, Art not only met, but exceeded the words he told to me. When you watch Art in council meetings, you only believe he has one personality. That's his legal personality. Wrong. Art is humorous, loves to socialize, loves to talk with you one-on-one.
His funeral was, it was packed. There were so many people that loved and cared for him, and everyone that spoke words about him, and everyone that was there, even just in the presence of his family and his friends, old colleagues, old coworkers, they all said the same thing, that he just was such a joy, and he was the light in every room that he walked into, and he was so impactful. It was amazing to see how many lives that he impacted, from children that were, that he worked with when he was coaching basketball, from when they were young, and now they're, were adults at his funeral. And there were so many of those. So for that many people from that long ago to still remember you and remember the impact that you had on them. And even, I only knew Art for maybe, 5 years or so, but just the impact that he had on my career and mentoring me here at the city of Stafford was amazing. So it was truly great to see how many lives that he touched, and to see everybody that was there to celebrate his life. It was truly amazing. So.
Monday, the 17th of March, I had the honor of attending his memorial services in Waco at the convention center. I estimate there was well over 400 people there, every race, creed, religion. It was truly amazement. And all of them had the same thing to say in a different manner. Art was a good man, and he loved helping people. I'm honored and privileged to have known Art. I am blessed to have been working with him, and he will always be remembered by the people, not only in that room Monday, but in the many that he came in contact with through the years. And I want to leave you with one humorous story Art told me, one of 1,000. The city of Waco televises their council meetings as we do here in Stafford. And Art told me one time he was in the grocery store in Waco standing in line with a bunch of ladies. And he became nervous because all the ladies kept glancing and looking at him. And finally one lady walked over and said, I know you. Who are you? He said, I am the city attorney for the city of Waco. She said, oh my God, I love you. I watch the show every night. You're the best thing that Waco ever had. And he told me, he said, I left there feeling like Perry Mason. So God bless you, Art, and someday we'll be reunited.
The City of Stafford awarded a certificate of recognition to longtime Public Works employee and ordained minister, Otis Brown.
Certificate of recognition awarded to Otis Brown posthumously in honor of 27 years of dedicated service from December 1998 to March 2025 to the City of Stafford. His unwavering dedication was an inspiration to all. His hard work, open authenticity, and friendship will be missed by his co-workers and the entire Stafford community.
Another certificate of recognition was awarded to another employee who dedicated almost 40 years to city service, Jose Chaman Sr.
Certificate of recognition awarded to Jose Ruben Chaman Sr., posthumously in honor of 37 years of dedicated service from November 1986 to August 2024 to the City of Stafford. His constant commitment, sense of humor, friendship, and infectious smile will always be remembered by his friends, family, and co-workers.
Certificado de reconocimiento otorgado póstumamente a José Rubén Chaman Sr., en honor a sus 37 años de servicio dedicado desde el mes de noviembre de 1986 y hasta el mes de agosto del 2024 a la ciudad de Stafford. Su constante compromiso, sentido del humor, amistad y sonrisa contagiosa siempre serán recordados por sus familiares, amigos y compañeros de trabajo.
That's a wrap on our news for this week. Thank you for joining us. For everyone here at Stafford Weekly News, I'm Randall Williams. May all your news be good news.